Hi, it's Jnwynn with Scraptastic Yarns Podcast, and today is Vlogmas Day 12. We're halfway to Christmas Eve. Sorry about the eye thing. I don't know what's going on. I've continued to work on the baby hats, and the girls have been turning in hats and helping. Some cute. A little cute with the greens. Some more brown ones that I need to add some decorations to. Pandas. Some more Christmas that needs tail weaved in. Snowman, Christmas, snow woman, snow girl, whatever you want to call it. Sorry about the nose again. It's driving me nuts all of a sudden. The other day I had told you about the knit crate that I had ordered at the end of November, and it hasn't come. And this is not the usual knit crate box that I get each month. This was a separate order from that. And I contacted Knit Crate about it, and they went in and they looked, and apparently it is lost. So they are sending me out a second package with the items I had ordered. We'll see, because shortly after I had ordered it, they, when I went back and looked, it said sold out. So we'll see if it gets here. But she said what happened is they did transfer it to the shipping company that picks them up. They did pick it up. Had the tracking number on it. However, it's gotten lost with the shipping fulfillment group between it and the mail. So I did ask her about what do I do if both of them show up, and she said, well, let's worry about that if that happens. So I can always use more yarn, but I don't want to pay another $100 for it. So, yeah. But we'll see, I did tell her I have a podcast. Could she consider, using it as part of a giveaway? We don't know. We'll see. They're kind of discussing, trying to decide what they want to do about it. What can I say? Stuff happens. Oh, allergies. Hold on. Let me pause it. Gotta have a sneezing fit. Sneezing fit's finally over. I hope. We'll see. Like I was saying, they're going to send a new shipment. So we'll see if that comes through, how long it takes, that kind of stuff. The only other thing is I have continued to work on the hooded unicorn blanket, and for some reason it's slogging along, so I decided to take a break from doing it, do a couple more baby hats, and then get back into it. I find some blankets kind of tedious sometimes when it's just the same 2 or 3 stitch patterns over and over, which I find kind of interesting, because when it is like granny stitch, that doesn't bother me. And I think maybe the reason granny stitches don't bother me is because you almost do those in your sleep. At least it seems like I can. But of course, I have friends that tell me that I actually do crochet in my sleep. But I think they're full of baloney. I don't think I do. So yeah, I'm going to work on a few hats this evening, and then I'll get back to the blanket, and we'll see how that's going. My sweater for the raglan cow is sitting in the bag languishing because Christmas. you know how that goes. I've got a stack of things I need to get done before Christmas, and I just seem to be running short on time. So have to make it go as we can. I forgot to show the angel for yesterday, so let me get that little beauty out. And this one will be a short little video. I am not real pleased with this one. This one is called Tablecloth or Table Angel. I did like the way her rings came out. However, I believe the head looks like an alien head. So I have written a note on it to do a smaller head because I don't like how this is elongated. But, you know, when you're doing an angel a day, you just go with the flow. Like I said, I forgot to show that one. I'll put the link for that one down below. This one, I absolutely adored this little angel. And this is a 3D angel, and you get 3 different angels in this pattern to do. Now, the pattern says to do it in DK weight. I chose to do it in that sparkly Love metallic, which of course you can't catch the sparkles in the white, but you can see it in the red. But I chose to do her in that. This one's directions, they can be a little confusing. They tell you not to, when you get to the head part and you've finished doing, this angel, and you start to add on the contrast color. Look, there goes my bag falling. It says not to cut this yarn or join. Just hold it in the back and continue this. Well, you're supposed to take some of the yarn to gather around under the head. You stuff the head and then you gather it up, tie it tight. I didn't mess with that. I just cut my yarn and finished it and then weaved in the ends. I think it came out fine. And of course, the halo is actually crocheted in the front loops of the 3rd row, which I kind of liked. I thought that was cute. This one features some cross stitches. But that was a little confusing to me, but it worked out fine. And then when you do the wings, it was a little confusing because they had you, the way that it was written to me was odd. Instead of saying 7 DCs in one stitch, it would say DC 7 in the next stitch. And then it would say, skip 1, do something else, and then it would tell you 7 single crochets, and you were like, is it in the next stitch? Well, no, you're doing 7 single crochets right here, and then of course 7 here on the back, so that it makes that nice little, what looks like the belt there. But yeah, it was real easy. After you get past the directions and figuring out, well, that's not going to work out, because I got a lot of wing left with no fluff. So, yeah, just take your time reading the pattern. This is something I had mentioned to Lacey about her new pattern coming up. I did the test crochet for it, and I did 2 of the shawl, and they're real. It's not a hard crochet, but for someone who is not used to reading patterns, I'm teaching an older woman to read patterns. She kind of looked at it and she goes, well, that just looks like a lazy way to write patterns. And it's because there is a legend that tells you how to do certain stitches, that kind of thing. But when she saw it, because when I was working on it, she was over. And when she saw it, she goes, that's very confusing to me. I would put, all these stitches in this one place. And I said, I understand that, but there is no set standard for how you write a pattern for crochet, although I'm beginning to think we're starting to develop some. But to her it was a little confusing. So if you're new to reading patterns, read it slowly, read it carefully. I believe she's planning on the release for this in December the 20th. Like I said, it's very easy. You can do it in a lot of different yarns. She had asked for it to be done in Scarfy, and I did one in Scarfy, and then I also did one in the Anemone Super Saver Ombre. And I used the same size hook as what called for the Scarfy. Both are beautiful shawls. So, yeah, they came out just fine. Okay, that's it for today's podcast, or Vlogmas. Not really a podcast. Haven't done a podcast in quite a while. And I don't think I'm going to do a podcast in December, because I've been updating you as I go. There's really no reason to do an additional podcast. I'll see you again tomorrow. Everybody have a great day. Remember, choose to be kind.